Have you ever seen this happen? A celebrity gets caught cheating, and suddenly, all the hate and anger are directed at the person they cheated with, while the celebrity themselves gets a slap on the wrist. Or maybe you've seen it in your own social circle. The partner who was cheated on publicly shames the other woman or other man, but seems to forgive their own partner almost immediately. It's a strange and common pattern, and it makes you wonder, why do we attack the accomplice more than the person who actually broke the promise? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology behind this phenomenon. It's a really complex issue, and there isn't just one simple answer. A big part of it comes down to a psychological concept called cognitive dissonance. This is the mental discomfort we feel when we hold two conflicting beliefs at the same time. In a relationship, you believe your partner loves you and is committed to you. When they cheat, that belief is shattered. This creates a painful conflict in your mind. To resolve this discomfort, it is often easier to redirect the blame than to accept that the person you love and trust has hurt you so deeply. Think about it. Confronting the fact that your partner, the one you built a life with, is capable of such a betrayal is devastating. It forces you to question your entire relationship, your judgment, and your future. That's a huge, scary thing to face. It's much less threatening to create a narrative where your partner was an innocent victim, seduced or tricked by an evil outsider. This other person becomes a convenient villain. By blaming them, you can preserve the positive image you have of your partner and, by extension, your relationship. It's a way to protect your own emotional stability, even if it's not entirely rational. This is especially true if you're not ready to end the relationship. If you want to stay with your partner, it's almost impossible to do so while seeing them as the main villain. You have to find a way to forgive them. So, the brain does this neat little trick. It recasts your partner as someone who made a mistake, who was weak or tempted. And who did the tempting? The outsider. This person becomes the scapegoat for all the anger and pain. It's a way of saying, our relationship is still good and strong, but this external force tried to destroy it. It allows the couple to unite against a common enemy, which can, paradoxically, make them feel closer in the short term. Another powerful factor at play is social and cultural scripting, especially when it comes to gender. Historically, and in many cultures still today, there's a deeply ingrained woman versus woman narrative. You see it everywhere in media, two women fighting over a man. This trope suggests that women are in constant competition for male attention and that another woman's gain is your loss. So, when cheating involves two women and one man, it can trigger this competitive, territorial instinct. The partner might see the other woman not just as someone who was involved in an act of betrayal, but as a rival who tried to steal what was hers. The anger becomes less about the broken trust and more about a perceived territorial battle. This is often amplified by misogynistic ideas that paint women as manipulative seductresses. The other woman is labeled with all sorts of nasty names, while the man is portrayed as someone who simply couldn't resist her supposed charms. It's an old-fashioned, unfair stereotype, but it's still incredibly pervasive. It absolves a man of his responsibility by reducing him to a passive participant who lacks agency, while placing all the blame on the woman. This protects the man's ego and social standing, and sadly, sometimes the cheated-on partner participates in this to maintain the social structure they're used to. Now, let's flip the script. When a woman cheats, the dynamic can be different, but the core mechanism of blame shifting is often still there. However, society tends to judge cheating women more harshly than cheating men. So, while her partner might still blame the other man, society at large is more likely to condemn her directly. There's also the element of the unknown. Your partner is a known quantity. You know their good sides, their bad sides, their history. You have shared memories and emotional investments. The other person, however, is a stranger. They are a blank slate onto which you can project all your worst fears and assumptions. They don't have a history with you, so it's easy to dehumanize them and turn them into a one-dimensional monster. You don't have to consider their feelings, their story, or their motivations. They are simply the one who ruined everything. This makes them a much easier target for your rage than the complex, multifaceted person sleeping next to you. Attacking the third party is also, frankly, safer. Yelling at your partner, the person your life is intertwined with has serious consequences. It could mean the end of your relationship, financial instability, or emotional turmoil for your family. There's a lot to lose, but yelling at or shaming the third party from a distance, it feels like there's less at stake. They are an outsider, and attacking them doesn't directly threaten the core structure of your life in the same way. It's a release valve for anger that feels less risky. Ultimately, the person who made the promise and broke it is the one who holds the primary responsibility. Cheating is a choice made by the person in the relationship, not by the outsider. While the third party's ethics can certainly be questioned, especially if they knew the person was in a committed relationship, the vow of fidelity was not theirs to break. Focusing all the blame on them is a coping mechanism, a way to simplify a painful and complicated situation. It helps us manage overwhelming emotions and protect our own sense of self and stability. Understanding this doesn't excuse the behavior, but it does help explain it. It shows how our brains work to protect us from psychological pain, even when it leads us to act irrationally. The next time you see this happen, maybe you'll see it not just as misplaced anger, but as a desperate attempt to make sense of a world that's been turned upside down. What do you think? Have you ever witnessed this? Or even felt this way yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into human behavior. See you next time.